Hey guys, Branch Summer Brown here, physical therapist, CrossFit coach, and wellness coach with Get Your Fix Physical Therapy. Today we're still using the foam roller and also the lacrosse ball in order to address the tight muscles that could be pinching on some of the nerves, causing some of your sciatic pain, as well as the muscles that also kind of mimic sciatic issues. So just because it's diagnosed as sciatica does not necessarily mean that it is sciatica. A lot of times just tight muscles can kind of generate the same similar pain. First, what I want to show you is a stretch I forgot to show you the other day. Someone reminded me of one of them that I forgot that I was going to demonstrate and forgot. So we're going to do that first, and then I'll show you the foam roller and the cross ball stuff. So this is going to be another way to stretch that piriformis in the back of the hip area. And what you're going to do, using a bed, using your counter, kitchen table, you're going to put one leg up on the table. So you put it up this way. From this position, staying up nice and tall through your hips, you also want to make sure your hips are squared off, not rotating away. But from here, keeping that torso straight, you can kind of just lean down that way. If the bed's taller up, then you'll get more of a stretch there anyway, so you may not have to lean forward as much. Hey Charles, good to see you. Hey Ernie, hey Michael. So that's another piriformis one from the other day that I forgot to show you. So now time for the lacrosse ball and foam roller. I'm just going to relocate to here. All right. So starting with the foam roller. So we're going to work starting from the glutes and work our way down. So for the glute area, you literally sit on the foam roller. You're going to cross one leg over the top of the other, and then you'll shift your weight towards the leg that's up. And then you can just kind of roll back and forth there, really focusing on wherever in that glute area is tight. You can kind of rotate out a little bit more if you need to, or in a little bit more, depending on where you feel the tightest. And you can do that on both sides or just one side, depending on how you feel. As far as the hamstrings go, to get the hamstrings, I don't do this as much with the foam roller, but it can be done. But basically, you'll just be up this way on it, just letting yourself kind of roll back and forth. I'm not usually overly tight there, so I don't really feel it, but I have some other my athletes I work with that do feel it quite a bit. So try it out and see how that feels for you. Then you can go down to the calf area, and you can usually find some pretty good tight ones in there. You can stay straight up and down. Because that calf is a big muscle and a lot of trigger points form in different areas, kind of rotate that leg based on how you need to in order to really get the area. But once you find a good area, you can kind of just oscillate back and forth in that area. You can roll side to side depending on how it feels and what you need to do. You can rotate that leg inward as well. So if you need a little bit more pressure, feel free to put the other one down on top of it, and that adds a little bit of pressure on it as well. So a lot of different options to play with as far as that goes. Now, for the lacrosse ball, you can basically hit all the same areas. It's just more aggressive because it's smaller. But to start with that glute region, you're literally going to put it on the floor. You're going to sit on it, cross that leg over still, and focus on whichever area is the tightest in there. So you can usually find some pretty good areas that way. And same thing, just kind of roll around, smash that area out as long as you need to, up to a couple minutes actually. Same thing with the hamstring. You can put it on the ground and kind of find those tight areas in the hamstring. I personally like this better than the foam roller for my hamstring, so it is a little bit more aggressive, but I feel like it gets a little bit deeper in there. Same thing goes for the calf. Same thing as the rest of them. It is a smaller, denser area, so you can really focus on those tight areas. But finding those areas and just letting it roll around, you can bend your leg and kind of get more of the outside of the leg as well. So a lot of areas you can hit up and down the leg with both the foam roller and the lacrosse ball. The other thing you can do with this, even though it's a long ways from the hip, it is all connected. Michael, it's just a lacrosse ball. Literally, any sporting goods store has lacrosse balls, but they're just really firm, dense rubber. But yeah, any sporting goods store has lacrosse balls. That's all it is. So, super simple. One other thing, so the foot obviously a long way from the hip and the sciatic stuff, but because of all the muscle and fascial, yes, correct. Because of all the muscle and fascial attachments, it does relate. So you can also, you're welcome, no problem. So getting the bottom of the foot addressed with a lacrosse ball is also a really good idea. So you can sit, you can stand, but basically rolling that foot back and forth on that ball, really loosening up the soft tissues on the bottom of the foot. If you wear shoes all day, you'll definitely notice those are probably a lot tighter. The more barefoot you are, the looser those feet tend to stay, just because they're used to getting a lot more motion throughout the day than when you're in shoes, especially if you're wearing orthotics. They tend to get really, really tight. So, but start using the lacrosse ball. That will help as well. If you're watching this on replay, have any questions or comments, definitely post those on here. I'd be happy to answer those for you. And as usual, feel free to reach out to me directly with anything that you have that's bothering you if you want to want some questions answered. So hope you had a wonderful Monday, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. All right, bye guys.